So my wife Beth and I were having a conversation the other day, and we started to think about just how much negativity and how much we had allowed the news and even conversations with friends and family. We've allowed that to focus on the negative things that are going on around the world. And from there we started to think, how can we turn that and focus on the good? And so that's what I thought we'd have a conversation about today, is in this chaotic, turbulent time, how do we focus on the good? There's a couple of scriptures I'd like to share with you. The first is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. In those couple of scriptures, it makes me think about some of the changes that we've had to make in our own personal lives, and looking at those and trying to find the good in those situations. For many of us, we've been forced to slow down. And if we're honest with each other, for lots of us, a global pandemic is the only thing that would have caused us to slow down. But the fact is that we are doing less things. The schedule is less full, and we're just not able to be as active. And that's a great thing, to be not so busy, to have more margin in our life is forcing us to slow down. That carries through to the family, the kids. Entertainment options, they're not available like they used to be. And so that means our entire families are spending more time at home together. And that's a great thing. I think that in both of those scenarios and the changes, we may find when we get on the other side of this chaos and turbulence, we may find that those are things that we want to continue, and we need to think about ways to make sure that we keep those disciplines in our life. The other thing that came to mind as far as focusing on good changes is the struggles in the world right now and the shifts that we've had to make are causing us to rest more. So John 16:33 in the Passion Translation reads, and everything I've taught you is so that the peace which is in me will be in you and will give you great confidence as you rest in me. That's our encouragement from Jesus, is that we would rest in him. And all those are kind of big picture, principle kind of things that we can look for the good in those situations. But there's been lots of other good on the practical side. Some of the practical good we're seeing as part of this pandemic, prices are coming down in many areas. Interest rates are down. Gas prices they dropped 40% in the last, 40 cents in the last week. Airline tickets, they're insanely cheap right now. Hotel stays are cheap. Now, granted, we are paying a little more for toilet paper, but hey, stuff happens, right? So there's lots of ways that we can focus on good. The other benefit of surviving the chaos of the world is today is that as we get to the other side and life returns to some sense of normalcy, I think that I want to be reminded of God's goodness and be able to appreciate the things that we have then. So this time where we're living a different life and it's more restrained and it's more worrisome, when we return to normalcy, I think we can appreciate God's goodness in the little things that He gives and provides for us every single day. So I hope this is giving you some encouragement and some hope, and my prayer would be that moving forward, that you'll choose to focus on the good.